Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So in this video, we're going to talk about why growing Puerto Rican black beans is beneficial to self-sufficiency. All right, so when I say PR black beans, I'm referring to the Puerto Rican black bean variety. It's something that I've discovered here in Florida that grows extremely well, and we're going to talk about that. I got enough notes in here to make sure that I stay on topic. So we're going to basically encompass, the benefits of growing the PR black beans for self-sufficiency. A lot of us try to look for specific types of, plants to grow in our gardens that are going to be, self-sufficient. What I mean by self-sufficient, something that's going to be a heavy producer and that's really easy to grow in the environment that you're in. Now, these beans will grow pretty much anywhere in the United States, but they just do really, really well in the heat. So let's talk about a couple of different things when I talk about self-sufficiency and why I think that these beans, as you can see, and folks, I planted 4 beans. 4 beans, that's it. And the monster, and we'll do a little tour of it, is what you got behind me in roughly about 4 months or so. I think between 4 and 5 months, here we are. And I've been growing them and I've been harvesting them on a consistent basis. As you can see here, I'm opening the beans up, and here I'll also show you guys, some of the beans I got and what they look like close up, as well as, we're going to weigh some beans out on a daily harvest. And what I mean by daily harvest, I usually have to stay on top of this at least every day to every other day. All right, so this may encompass just beans in general. And what I mean by beans in general is a lot of beans have some of these same traits. A lot of you folks out there may grow, specific beans in your area, maybe purple hull peas, maybe, the blue beans, bush beans, all different types of beans. And some of this will pertain to that as well. So let's talk about high nutritional value. When you're growing something for self-sufficiency or for hard times, you want something with a high nutritional value. And specific to the PR black beans and maybe others is they're rich in protein, fiber, iron, and essential minerals. That being said, you need those things to kind of, trudge through your daily activities and just to exist. All right, so moving on to why I think these are one of the best beans I've ever grown personally. Here locally in the state of Florida. I'm in zone 10A for some of you folks that may be coming across the channel for the first time. If you're new here, I always tell people, if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know you're new here so I can welcome you to the channel. So specifically to these guys right here, they are drought and heat tolerant. So specifically, let's say out in, certain parts of the United States, where you deal with drought and you deal with extreme heat. I mean, look at the Midwest. The Midwest dealt with really, really nasty heat, and some people are still dealing with nasty heat. These guys do well. And I'll be honest with you, since I planted these, I have not watered them. I have not fertilized them. It's just they're doing this on their own. And like I said, I'm going to talk for a bit, but then we're going to go ahead and do a tour. But I just wanted to get some of these key points down to you. So if you're interested in these, and if you guys are interested in these beans, I'm gonna add something to the end of this video, and it's gonna be pretty much dang near almost free. Now, one thing, and I'll show you in this video, is what I like about beans in general, but specifically these guys, because they just are heavy producers. They're just monsters. And most beans in general are nitrogen fixers. So I call them soil health boosters. They naturally fix, nitrogen in the soil, so basically reducing the need for fertilizers. Also, it helps improve soil fertility for future planting cycles, because a lot of people have either raised beds or something like that, and you're kind of nutrifying that soil for the future. Now, here's one of my favorite parts about this bean specifically, and other beans like it, is the aspect of long-term storage. So with some beans, you have to go out and harvest them pretty quickly. These are, you kind of want to let these kind of, turn brown and get to a certain color. As you can see where I'm, cutting these things open, not cutting them, but breaking them open and pulling the beans out because they're dry beans. So with dry beans, they're easy, really simple, and really easy to store for years without refrigeration. So from my perspective, they're excellent. They're an excellent staple for building long-term food security. Another positive aspect to the PR black bean is The high yield, low input, kind of where I was touching on, you know what I mean? They're very productive even in small gardens. This is a 4x8 bed that I have here. I only put 4 beans in there, and folks, and I'm gonna tell you some of the mistakes I made while in this process so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Another thing that's great about these beans is minimal pest issues, specifically when properly, you know, rotated and maintained. So what I mean by maintenance is, you know, just kind of checking your plants, you know, every once in a while, if you see some dead things in it, some dead leaves and stuff like that, you know, either chop and drop back so it goes back into the soil, or so that you can kind of integrate some of that stuff out there, because, you know, rotten stuff, you know, usually draws insects and bugs. Now, let's talk about cooking. The versatility of beans in general, but like I said, we're focusing on the PR black beans because these things can be used in soups, stews, rice dishes, and you can even ground them into flour. Now here is the magic, and what I mean by magic is seed saving and sustainability. When it comes to these, once you grow one plant, just one plant, you'll have seeds forever. Now these guys are the open pollinated variety, so it's something you might want to look into when you're planting certain crops in your garden, is the open pollinated variety of plants out there. Basically this means the seeds can be saved, they can be replanted yearly, and kind of supports independence and, you know, from having to deal with seed companies in general. So once you get your hands on some of these and you get them growing, you're just good. You're going to have plenty of seeds for each year that you introduce these into your garden. And the last key point, and we'll give you a little kind of walk around this here, and I'm going to, at the end of this, I'm also going to give you a little shot of the sweet potatoes and how well they're doing, is economic resilience. So beans in general, but all the things that I've kind of touched on in this video, they can be sold at local markets or bartered in specific communities or in certain situations, as well as, you know, kind of reducing reliance on fluctuating food prices and supply chain issues. All right, so those are some of the key points that I kind of wanted to discuss in regards to the PR black beans. So now I'm going to go ahead and kind of just show you the 4 beans. Just remember, this is 4 beans that I planted in this garden bed. And I think I have a clip that I'll throw on the screen if I do have it, so that you can see the 4 beans that I planted. Now, when I initially put these plants in, I did use a little bit of fish fertilizer when I put the beans in, and that was it. They've been on their own ever since then. All right, so enough of me jabbering at the jaw, as I like to call it, because, you know, people say I talk too much. But I really just wanted to give you some key points and specifics. If you're looking for one of the foods out there that you can grow for self-sufficiency and stability, something for you and your family for hard times, or just in general, if you enjoy beans themselves. Now, some people may bring in the fact that, you know, of course, you got to soak these beans and stuff like that, you know, before you cook them. I mean, that's just, to me, that's not a big deal. One key factor I just want to note is I did soak the beans for 24 hours prior to planting these in the garden bed. All right, folks, so just kind of want to give you an idea of the beans themselves. And this is on the far side. I planted the beans, 4 beans on that side over there versus, you know, planting them over here. There's no bean plants that I put in this area. And I'm a pretty big guy, and if you can see the length of these beans, they're pretty plentiful. And you can always tell. So these guys, as you can see, they're green there. That green colorization to them. And then when they're getting ready to harvest, they kind of get this like straw kind of hue color. And if you shake them, I don't know if you can hear that in there. You can kind of hear those beans kind of in there. And then what I do before I pull these is I kind of press on this. See if you can hear this. Did you hear that crack? So when I hear that crack, I know these are ready to come inside. All right, so I'm going to walk around to this side because these are my Everglades tomatoes, which I've talked about in a different video. I'm going to back up a little bit so you guys can see this, that the beans have taken over. No matter how you look at it, the beans have taken over. But again, they're nitrogen fixers, so it's keeping these tomatoes growing through here. It's still pretty lush. A lot of people in this heat in Florida cannot grow tomatoes. But let's kind of walk around to this side away from the sun, where we can see my shadow, basically. Hey, there's my shadow. I mean, look at the density of this bean. So remember, folks, this is just four beans. That's it. That's all I put in here, 4 beans. And if you just look all over this plant, there's just beans everywhere. Beans everywhere, folks. Look at that. There's just beans coming off every part of this plant. In the morning, it's really beautiful. They have purple flowers that are gorgeous, at least from my perspective. We can let's kind of take a peek inside to the craziness inside here. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. These things have taken over. So that being said, I don't know if you guys can see this here. These are these poles here, and it's a coating on this, but it's metal on the inside. Well, these beans have grown drastically along with the Everglades tomatoes. Man, every time I look at it, there's just more and more beans all over this thing. We're at probably about 3 or 4 pounds now and just a couple of harvests. I'm assuming these 4 beans are going to probably turn into 20 to 30 pounds of black beans. I've had to train these runners. I'll have to put them back in because even all the way down here at the bottom, as you can see, it's just more beans. No matter where you look at it, beans, and more beans. I mean, it's just, let me see if I can get an overhead view of that. I can't see what I'm looking at. I see some dragonflies and whatnot, but that's kind of the top of the trellis there. But that being said, folks, the trellis itself is collapsing on itself because these beans have gone so insane on the trellis. I mean, if you couldn't tell, this 4x8 bed, you would think it's just, I've planted dozens and dozens of beans on this thing, but I have not. It literally, as I said, just 4 beans in this thing. This is a great angle here, as you can see. So if you want something that's going to be a monster producer for your garden with little to no hassle in heat environments, very hot environments, humid environments. Here in Florida, we've had heavy winds, rains, and then it's dry for a week or so, and then it goes back to just torrential downpours. And look, folks, she's doing absolutely amazing as a plant. And this is going to be one of the best summer harvests that I've ever harvested. I don't know. There we go. You guys kind of get where I'm going with that. That I've ever grown. So it's like trial and error sometimes, and that's why I like to make these videos to kind of help you folks out. Like, hey, I want something that's going to be a very strong producer. What's going on, buddy? He wants to be YouTube famous, so he's always trying to cut into the frames. But in general, you can kind of just see the abundance of this plant. If you were to put this along a fence line and just put, like, let's say I use the fence line here, and I just planted them, along the fence line here. Just imagine how many beans that you could, produce for you, your family, your friends, and then some, and then put them in for long-term storage. Folks, like I said, you can cook them now, you can cook them later, and you can cook them 20 years from now. Amazing, amazing plant, folks. So I can't stress enough, if you're looking for something that you want, easy to grow, that's going to fix the soil, and that you might want to pair with some tomatoes, like I have, just be mindful, of course, that this plant is going to just keep on going and going and going. And I'll give you guys, like I said, it's been about 4 months or so since we put this in here. And I think next time I'm going to build, I got some things that I'm waiting on. It'll be in August. I'll be bringing in some new things for the channel. I'm very excited about some of these new things, but I'm trying to keep a lid on it until then. But folks, I got to do some harvesting on this thing. As you can see, I got to pick some more beans, and I just did this the other day, and there's some already ready. You can see them in here, hide in here. There's some in there. I make the wife, she crawls inside here and pulls the ones that are kind of hiding through this. But also the shade that it's producing is protecting my soil from the summer heat. So that's another plus for the tomatoes that we have here. And we try to stay on top of the tomatoes, because if we don't, the birds will. I've noticed that the birds love these little sweet, delicious Everglades tomatoes. We try to stay on them. The bees also love it. I don't know if you can see that bee there, if I even got it in focus. But we get bumblebees, we get wasps, we get all kinds of bees that kind of help with pollination in the rest of the garden. All right, as promised, at the end of the video, I figured I would give you guys a look at the sweet potatoes and the big drums. If you haven't seen that sweet potato, I'll drop a link down in the description, as well as hopefully it'll pop up on the screen as well for you. You can click and watch that video if you like, how we just took some store-bought sweet potatoes, and they're another great cover crop, and they grow well in heat. They're pretty much, once you get them in the ground, they're pretty much self-sufficient as well. So between beans and sweet potatoes, those are two recommendations that I can say from my perspective that I've had great experience with in very hot and weird environments like Florida. Florida is bipolar when it comes to its weather. And then that's the other one. These in the morning too, they have these beautiful purple flowers. The bees love those. So it also works as a great pollinator. And of course, this one I think is the purple potatoes, purple sweet potatoes, and they have just gone wild. They're kind of growing everywhere, taking over like sweet potatoes do. Now you can grow these even in the sand. Here in Florida, we can grow these in the sand, but I find it much easier to use these huge bins here. These huge bins, like I showed you in the first video, how they're just easy. Once you're ready to harvest these things, you can dump them and get really readily accessible sweet potatoes. All right, so for some of you folks out there, I'm going to select 10 of you amazing people out there that drop a comment down in the description, down in the comment section. Just let me know your thoughts on the beans, the Puerto Rican black beans, what you're growing this summer, if you're growing anything at all. I know some folks don't grow during the summer. But if I'm going to pick 10 of you guys, and I'm going to use a YouTube comment picker, and I'll post a clip of that, because I probably won't be doing a live, but I'll post a clip of the YouTube comment picker. And if you're picked, I'll leave a link to an email that you can send me your information to, and I'm going to send you guys 10 people for black beans, so that you can kind of get started, give you a little bit of a head start. So gives you guys an option to win some beans for free. And for some reason, if you leave a comment just to be, helpful to the channel, which is always appreciated, and you don't want the beans and you get picked, please let me know. Maybe I should clarify a little bit and say, hey, I'd love to have some beans, Gray, so that I know that you're specifically trying to enter the drawing to win some beans. But I won't exclude anybody, because someone may have something else and they may want some beans as well. They just kind of forgot, because I do ramble on a bit. My videos do go long, sorry. But that will be kind of helpful. If for some reason you don't want some beans sent to you, just let me know once I email you, and I'll pick someone else. Pretty much outside of that, you're gonna have to, of course, flip the cost of planting them and all that stuff like that, but I'll pay shipping. I'll do it all just to help some of you folks out there. 10 of you guys out there, so if you leave a comment, you'll be entered in the drawing. I'll wait a week or two, and then I'll put it in my community page. If you're not familiar with the YouTube community page, you just scroll over, you click down. It's where I post a lot of personal things. I'll also make an announcement on my Instagram. If you're not following that, you might want to. I put a lot of personal things on there with me, my wife and family, and the animals and whatnot. They're considered family as well. But outside of that, folks, remember, thank you so much for watching. Remember, you're not alone. This is Gray Man. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless all you amazing people out there. And again, enjoy the rest of your weekend, wherever this video may follow you. Thanks so much.